How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining Let It Fly Disc Golf, and in today's video we're going to talk about the Stagger putt, so stay tuned. All right, thanks for joining, everyone. I do want to appreciate everyone liking and subscribing to my last videos. If you haven't seen those, please check those out. I really appreciate it. If you haven't seen the Straddle video, I would advise you to go and watch that before you watch this one, because we're going to have a lot of topics on today's video from that other video. So let's get to the technique of how we stagger putt, and then stay tuned. Later in the video I'll show you a game that I like to play, so that this way I get practice in and it's fun to do. Okay, so in the last video we talked about straddle putting and how straddle putting can make you a better stagger putt. It will also make you a better disc golfer because you will learn two putts where you can utilize those depending on what terrain you're putting from. Okay, so this is a straddle putt. A stagger putt is like this. This will generate more power. I feel like a straddle putt for me is a little bit more accurate. So what we're taking away from our straddle putt is that up and down motion still. Okay, so in our straddle, we're here and we're painting the pole on the basket. Now we are still popping the disc like we discussed in the straddle video. Now first, let's talk about the grip. Now, if you saw it in the video, I'll go over it really quickly. If not, then here you go. So you take this first knuckle and you put it under the disc. The other three fingers just sit there nicely. They're not fanned out. They're not close to the front. They're back here to give it some support. Now my thumb is just basically a little bit over the index finger. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to bend our wrist so that this way we can get more rotations on the disc. Now, some of y'all are probably thinking, well, I do it like this. This will actually, if you fan your hand out too far, it could follow the finger. If it doesn't come out enough, then it might go that way. But this will also allow you to get a pop on your release. I like to use my knuckles to determine how much spin I want to put on the disc. The more spin, the easier the disc is going to fly, and it's going to prevent it from finishing too early. Let's talk about our feet. Our foot is not straight on with the basket. We're going to turn it in just a little bit. Now, it's not going to be crazy. What this allows us to do is kind of brace our forward momentum into this front leg. If you're like this and you brace, you could fall over to the left. But the idea is you have a natural swing when it comes to a stagger putt. Okay, so I believe Scott Stokely talked about this in one of his videos. But if you practice shadow swinging with your eyes closed, try to get that feel and open your eyes. If your hand's pointed to the basket still, then you're in a good position. If you're doing this and your hand is off to the right, it also will teach you, okay, I need to adjust my body just a little bit and get used to that same position. If not, you're just gonna have to adjust your body, or you can play with the back leg as well to get that natural forward momentum. Now remember that when we come down and we go to release, the last point of contact are these back three fingers. So when I come in and I go out, you can see how my hand is like, okay, give it to me. Give me something. The reason why I like this is because the last 3 point of contact of my fingers is putting the rotations on it, but it's also trying to keep it flat. What you're going to notice is when you putt so far from the basket, you're going to find out that you don't need as much push. Now, it's good to get that forward momentum, but we don't want to give it so much that we soar past the basket and now we got a 30-footer coming back. You want to count how many feet you are from the basket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What this will do is it'll teach you how much you need to push. Sometimes I'll play around with the feet of not getting like too far back because I don't need that much push. I'm in my position. I'm going to bring the disc down into my body and release it right at the basket. Now, as you can see, I didn't really push a lot. I'm doing a lot of this with my arm and making sure that when I release the basket that I'm pointing right at the basket. So let's head out to 25 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now when I'm out this far, my main miss is usually right of the basket, not so much of left. So when I when I do this, when I get out this far, I like to really favor my left side, making sure that I'm kind of tucking it in on my left side and coming forward. I'm still bringing it into the pocket, but I just want to make sure that I'm not standing up. I kind of actually like settle into it and then go. Here is the part where I would figure out that was player A, this is player B. Was that a good putt? Yes, it was. Was I aiming, right? Are my knuckles on the chain? Is my hand grip comfortable? There you go. So let's take it out to 30 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still focusing on everything. I'm gonna give it a little bit more of everything. Give it a little bit more wrist. Bring it into the center and then putt it out.
Yeah, boy.
Oh yeah. Whenever I'm out on the course, I like to play with 2 putters. 18 holes, that's 36 putts. Player A is okay to make, right? If you do make player B. If you miss player A, go ahead and putt out player B, but pay attention to what happened. Did you put it on too much hyzer? Did it soar over the disc or over the basket? Where was the wind coming from? That will allow you to adjust your putt as you need to. The timing for some of us is different. I like to come in and pause a little bit and then go. I'm pushing first and then the arm is coming through. My brother, he likes to just feel that like I'm going first and then my arm, my leg. So then when he feels like a natural momentum to release the disc at the right time. We're not putting like this. We're trying to give legs and then putt. Legs and then putt. So let me set up the game and we'll take a look. So compared to the last one, we had 3 stations. In this case, we're still gonna have 3 stations, but we're gonna do this a little bit different. What I want you to do, and I'll tell you really quickly 3 different variations, but we have 3 stations, 3 feet apart or 3 steps apart, and grab as many discs as you can. So last time we just played with however many discs you had, 2, 3, 4, and all the discs that you make inside the basket, you take to the next station. The ones that fall out, you leave on the ground, and you keep doing these stations until you run out of discs that land in the basket. But with this practice, what we're gonna do, I have 4 putters, they're all wizards. I'm gonna putt from this station, and the ones that go in the basket is great. The ones that fall out, I'm gonna pick back up and move back to my same position. So, as you can see, a lot of arm. I'm still staggered. I'm still paying attention to how the disc is going into the basket. Now in this case, I made all 4, so I'm gonna move on to my next station. Pay attention to how far, right? How far, do your counts. Okay, I'm this far. I don't need that much leg. I'm still focusing on putting in the basket, right? So that's an example. The disc landed outside the basket. Let's put these 3. Focusing on that pop. Great. So all 3 of them landed in the basket, except for one, Colonel Sanders. We're gonna move back to that same station, and you're gonna continue to putt until all the discs are in the basket. Once that happens, you're gonna grab all the discs and move to your last station. Now, regardless of if the discs fall out of the basket, if they fall out of the basket, that's okay. If I put all 4 of these and they fall out of the basket, that's okay. We're still gonna pick them up and come back to the station until we make them all. A little bit short, player A. Player B was good. Player C was good. Player D was excellent. So then, once again, I would come back, pick up the disc, move back to the third position, station, putt it until I make it, and there you go. You don't ever really want to be putting when you're super tired. That's going to prevent you from making good judgment and making good putts. We want to see good putts going in and not really putting forever to the point where you're not getting anything into the basket. Once again, when we do these stations, we want to make sure that we're only setting it up within 30 feet. Let me move the camera and I'll show you the other way that you can do this as well. Okay, so there's two different variations to this one as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count out 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not really worrying about my stations at this point. If you have all your putters, 10 putters, that's great. We're gonna put all 4 of these from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I have 2 options. I'm gonna count out 6 steps and then putt from there. Once I make all of them, then I'm gonna count again 7 steps. Make all of them 8 steps, all of them 9 steps, all of them in 10 steps, and then you're done. Or we went this way 5 steps. Now we're gonna go this way 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you probably can't see me, but if you can, that's great. I'm gonna putt all my putts from this angle. Body double. Great job, John. It's a dinosaur. Now we're gonna go this way 7 steps. You can really say 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps back and forth. Once you complete that game, that's it for the day. We're not gonna putt anymore. Other than that, let me know if that game is useful. Like I said, sometimes I don't like to just come out here and say I'm gonna put 100 putts. I like to put it into a game mode so that this way it gives me a little bit more stress factor. Maybe 2 more putts, I'm at the 10th step, right? And I just need to make these because I'm tired already. I missed a whole bunch of them and I'm still putting. Put in the comments what you struggle with your game and we will probably put those ideas in a video. Other than that, that's gonna be it for Let It Fly Disc Golf. I do appreciate you joining the channel. Please like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel grow and allows me to do more of these videos. Keep an eye out for merch. I will be coming out with some merch pretty soon. Keep up the good work. Get out on the field. Let it fly. Peace.